Welcome to day 3 of our week 2 devotional. This is the final day in our second week as we are studying through the book of 1 John. And today we're going to continue to look at experiencing God, and we want to talk about proclaiming that which we have seen and heard. In 1 John 1:3, John writes, "That which we have seen and heard, we proclaim also to you, so that you too may have fellowship with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ." And there's this idea behind proclaiming that which we have seen and heard. When you've experienced something, you want to share that experience. I think earlier this week I mentioned our Challenge conference, and when we came back from this incredible experience, it was impossible to not proclaim about it. It was impossible to not share about the experience that we had had. In the same way, as we experience the Lord, it becomes impossible to not proclaim Him, to not share Him with other people. And so the question we want you to think on today is, what does it look like for you to proclaim this news? Proclaim the things that you have seen and heard. What does it look like for you to proclaim or just simply share Jesus with other people? For some of you, it may be very evangelistic. You're sharing the gospel with people, telling them how they can be saved. For others of you, maybe it's just sharing, hey, I was reading this today in the scriptures and it really made me think. It was an impactful thing to read. Or I've been memorizing this verse. Would you memorize it with me? Or something is going on in your life and you've been spending time in prayer and seeing God answer. Or other people have been praying for you and you've been seeing God answer and you're sharing that with others. So again, the question is, what does it look like for you to share about your faith with other people? This can be a tough thing to do sometimes, can't it? There's something about speaking about our faith in Jesus that can bring some discomfort, can bring some struggle to get the words out. But I think sometimes we just overplay it too much. We overplay it in our minds, we hype it up, and ultimately all we are called to do is that which we have seen and heard, we proclaim. That which we have experienced about who God is and what He has done in our lives and how we have read about Him in the scriptures and seen Him come through, that's what we share. We don't share beyond our level of knowledge, we don't share beyond our level of experience, but we share, hey, this is who Jesus is. I've experienced Him as my Savior and my Lord, and here's what it means. And here's what it looks like in my life. And so our challenge at the end of this week's devotional is to challenge you and encourage you to go and share about your relationship with Jesus to somebody that maybe you haven't in the past. This could be a new friend, it could be a family member, it could just be someone that you talk about other things with, but you've never talked about your faith with them. I'm not saying go and just share the gospel beginning to end, but just go and share some part of your faith in Jesus, some part of what you've been studying. You could even share part of 1 John with them. You can invite them to church, whatever it might look like. But we want to encourage you to go and share, go and proclaim what you have seen and heard in the person of Jesus. And as we wrap up this day 3 devotional and our week 2 1 John devotional, I would love for you to share those things with us. Share them with your small group leader, share them with me, share them with a friend, share them with a parent. We'd love to hear your stories about what it looks like for you to share your faith with other people. And we also just pray that you would continue to use this devotional resource. And we'll see you next week as we continue on together through the book of 1 John.